Well guys, it's a mess down here. Does that surprise anybody at all? I don't think so. Now look, I haven't really documented too much of my listings and what I've been doing over the last few days because to be honest with you guys, it's been so boring. Stuff like this, pile of CDs, piles of DVDs, I've probably done like a few hundred listings over the last few days now, and man, it just has not been exciting. It's been very repetitive. It's been a lot of the same, just taking pictures and sitting down and listening to a bunch of stuff. And for that reason, I've just had no motivation to document it. But that now brings us to today, where we have some exciting stuff going on because this place is a mess. Now, of course, it's a mess usually because of two things. One thing is I've been doing way too much shipping and I haven't cleaned up, which isn't so much the case today. The second thing is that we've picked up a lot of new inventory, which in this case, I think is more likely. You see, we actually have a combination of the two. As you guys know, we're working through the death pile, trying to get rid of as much stuff as possible, and that's a big part of today. So we have a lot of stuff that's still been sitting that just needs to get listed, so we're going to be doing a lot of that today. However, additionally, we do have some new inventory coming in that we're trying to make room for. So in today's video, I want to start moving through some of the big stuff. We're going to be doing consoles, we're going to be doing VCRs, we're going to be doing anything that we see that's taking up room so we can start to clear off the floor, get stuff listed on eBay, and eventually obviously be able to drop it off at our storage unit, get it out of this space. So I mean, some very exciting stuff coming ahead here in this video. I'll hopefully be able to provide you guys with some tips and things along the way. We also have a couple return parcels that I'm still waiting to hear back from. I can kind of explain that quickly as well and what I do in that situation. So lots of exciting stuff with that. I think we should just get right into it. This item does not conform to letter mail standards. Oh boy. Of course, I can't show you the address, but this was an item that we sent to the States, and I believe it was sent back probably because it didn't have a customs form. It was sent as letter mail. So that's a problem. In this case, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna reach out to the buyer and see if they want me to send it again. I'm just gonna let them know that it got sent back, and I can offer to send it to them again for free, of course, or if not, they can just have a refund on their order. That's normally what I do with these things, but it's kind of a pain. Of course, we don't send parcels like that anymore. Now we send them with actual labels. And of course, I can't show you the label on this one. This one was sent back because it was never claimed. This was an international parcel that went off to Brazil, I believe, and it was just never claimed by the person that was supposed to pick it up, I guess, and never claimed at the customs or at the post office, so it was just sent back to us, and it says that on the other side. Now, in this case, I think we actually did reach out to the buyer, but had no response. They seem to have just disappeared off the map, so I guess we'll just relist the game, and that's that. Anyway, that's the deal with all of those items, so we're just gonna go ahead and message some buyers, relist some stuff. You know, it's just sort of normal and what you should expect when selling on eBay. Not everything makes it to the buyers. The worst stuff is the stuff that gets lost and you just never get back. Or some of the funny ones are the ones that you actually refund a buyer for because they say it never arrived, and you're like, do I believe them or not? Was letter mail on track? They could have got it, but then it actually arrives back and you're like, wow, that was an honest buyer. Anyway, it's time to move on now. You'll notice that there's a big gap here where about 350 DVDs used to be sitting. They've all been listed and moved to the storage unit. We have some VHS, that's what they're called, there we go. VHS tapes that need to still be listed, as well as over here. We have a few more CDs, we have some books, and we have, I think that's actually box sets of DVDs. So that stuff also has to get listed. I listed all these CDs yesterday night, and that was a pretty easy one. That was 32 in total, and pretty much wrapped up all of our small CDs. They're actually being listed for quite some good money. We'll break into that maybe a little bit later in today's episode of how much we've got listed and what the total is. Anyway, my big problem starts in this room right here, where we're just completely loaded with stuff that we need to get listed. Now you'll notice this corner is looking pretty good. This is where our existing shelving was before it was moved over to the storage unit, and I don't really know what to do with this now other than just leave it empty, which I think is what I probably will do. I may, however, put some receiving tables here and have more of an organized location for all this stuff to land in the future. We're gonna have to see about that. Anyway, first off, I did order some replacement AVs for our PlayStation units here. We have 1, 2, and 3 that all need AVs. That guy's still waiting for a power cable. This guy's still waiting for a power cable, but that guy has a power cable. So we're gonna get that slim listed right away here today. And just like that, photo is taken. This guy is ready to be listed. Replacement AC and AV cable, I guess. I don't think we ordered this. I think it just came with it. But anyway, nice unit here. I got the controller with it, so we're gonna go ahead and get this guy listed. Next up, we're listing this Xbox One Connect sensor. This was a Value Village pickup for about $10 here. That's just been sitting for way too long, so we're gonna go ahead and list this guy. Should be able to get about $40 to $50 for it. So guys, I'm now actually working on a Wii bundle that I recently picked up, and I think what I'm gonna do here is just a mega bundle. We have 3 games here, Mario Kart, Just Dance 3, and Wii Fit. So what I'm gonna be doing is selling the Wii with the 2 controllers, the Wii Fit board, and the wheel and everything, and we're going to see how much we can get for it just for fun. I paid $120 for this Wii bundle and for a whole Sega Genesis bundle, so if we could just get that back on the Wii, we'll be in the profit here. Down here I have the little Wii itself. It's in okay condition. It's definitely got some cosmetic scratches on it there, but I mean, it is what it is. It is on though, and it's working. I just tested the games. They're all mint. So yeah, I'm just going to link up this Wii Fit board here with it. We also got these 2 controllers with it. This one appears to be fully charged. This one's still working at it, but yeah, these are the black controllers. They're worth a little more. If we sell these on our own, we can get about $40, $50 for them, which is awesome. But we're going to sell them with the bundle. I'm not usually a fan of these guys, the chargers that come with them. Luckily, these ones do have the backing, so if the buyer wanted to put batteries in them, they could. But these things are often flimsy and don't work. But this one seems to be working, so we're going to give it a shot here. I'm going to sell it all with it, and hopefully it will work. So everything is now all organized and tested in this Wii Mega Bundle. I've cleaned everything. It's all ready to get going here, so I'm going to take pictures of it. Leave your guesses in the comments. What do you guys think this would sell for? I'm going to guess 150 bucks is kind of where I'm putting it. Mario Kart alone's like worth 20. Then we got the wheel. We've got these and the black console, so that's like 100 bucks there. At least 150, right? I would think, maybe. I think that's what we'll list it for. So this is a pretty good bundle here. We're gonna go ahead and get this all photographed now, and hopefully it will sell fast. Okay guys, well I actually just wrapped up the listing of that Wii bundle, and I decided to go up to the post office, drop a couple items off, and I decided to check the PO box to see if there was anything, because I knew we had a return incoming, which is these 2 boxes right here. This might be one of the worst customers I've ever dealt with ever, and I'll get into that in a separate video, but we are going to unbox these today and see if we got everything back that we were supposed to get back, because it wouldn't surprise me if they were full of rocks. We also got 2 more items back up here. I did check into both of these, and I'll explain why both of them got sent back here real quick. So this top one here was a United States parcel that we sent with stamps, which, to be honest, I know you're not supposed to do it. Everybody's always telling me, like, oh, you're not supposed to send them with stamps. I learned my lesson with that the hard way, and obviously, you shouldn't be sending, like, full games with stamps, because it's just not allowed anymore. They will get rejected and sent back every time. You need to send them as a parcel with the customs form. So let me start with that. However, the occasional CD or disc that's loose that we have, we will still send with stamps, because often they'll go through because they're just as thin as paper and it doesn't really matter. So we've probably sent quite a few just like that, and they usually go okay. This one, however, didn't. So we're going to reach out to the buyer. It's our fault, obviously, and we're going to make sure they get the refund or their item. So yeah, not great. We are thinking about switching back to just using small packet like you're supposed to do, but sometimes with the stamps, it's a lot cheaper when it's just a CD or a disc, and they're very flat, so they do go through as paper. Anyway, the next one here was actually a invalid address, or like they couldn't find it, the person moved, maybe they weren't sure, so it just came back to us like that. And I'm going to reach out to the buyer there and figure out what the heck happened. I'm going to cover up everything on this label as to not show off the buyer's address. However, look at the distortion on this label. It's like so stretched or squished. I don't even know what happened, but I'm surprised this even got shipped. Okay, so here's the really quick basic summary of what to expect. First of all, we don't accept returns, so let me pretext all of this with that. Now, this person purchased these items. These are both Xbox 360s. They were both shipped with the power adapter that we photographed in the listing. When the buyer received them, they were not happy with the power adapter because apparently it was the wrong voltage for these Xbox 360s. Now, so be it, whatever. We did post them with those Xbox 360, power supplies. We did photo the power supplies and the back of the Xbox 360 so the buyer knew exactly what they were expecting. Right before we shipped them out, apparently there was a message that I guess we missed that the buyer sent, and it just said, send other power supplies or something like that. Like, it was not clear at all. And it was just like, you're supposed to send other ones, not the ones that are in it. And of course, we only ship them with whatever we photograph. That's what the lots are. Regardless, the problem wasn't so much that. The problem was more so the conversation and messaging back and forth with the buyer. The full-blown, like, 12 messages that we got. It was just really crazy. So anyway, not very happy with this buyer. Not very happy that we had to accept this return. I did speak to eBay. We're looking at other resolutions right now, but I'm going to open this up and see if we got sent back exactly what we sent them. Opening up box number 1. Okay, let's take a look here. And miraculously, yeah, it looks like we are going to get an Xbox 360 in here. Okay, hold on a second. I had to look into this because this does not look like the same thing that we sent out. I'm going to have to look into the pictures. Anyway, here's the infamous power supply that the buyer did not like. Now, of course, we test with the power supplies. I guess they have 2 slightly different models or something, and you guys might know more about this than we do, but we've never had this issue before with any buyers. So anyway, again, we do list with the power supplies, and they're sort of just sold as is. Of course, they're used consoles. These are the ones that they came with. So regardless, that's the power supply in question. And a couple controllers here that came back as well. Now, one of them was damaged in shipping to their place, which is fine. We actually offered a full refund for that. We even offered a full refund, by the way, for replacement power supplies, so they could just go buy whatever power supplies they wanted, but they did not want to do that. That's fine. Anyway, we have these here now. Into box number 2 we go, and let's take a look here if we have an Xbox, which we should have. Almost knocked that one off the desk. That would have been really bad. And here we are. It does look like we have an Xbox 360. We got a couple of controllers down there. We had a Kinect sensor that was shipped with this one. So I'm going to assume that hopefully all this stuff still works so we can relist. There's the power supply in question here. Now, again, I think it's the same. They were complaining about the 9.6 amp thing, and maybe this is something that we need to watch out for going forward, of course, and pairing them up. But nevertheless, was still described in the listing, so I'm not sure who was necessarily in the wrong here. But either way, again, like I said, and I'm going to make a whole separate video about this, we did offer a full refund for him to purchase replacement power supplies and a replacement controller. But anyway, okay, that's interesting as well. Not sure what's going on there, but I will look at the pictures. If that's us, then that is not great either. That should have been cleaned. This one does not look like the hard drive was pulled out. Okay, guys, well, here's the deal. I just plugged in both the consoles. I tried them all out. They do actually work, which is fantastic, actually, because that means that we can go ahead and relist these guys, no problem, and recoup some of our money. Now, the biggest loss in this entire transaction was, of course, the shipping money, because it cost us over $70 to ship them there. I think it was almost $80. And then another additional $80 to ship it back. So almost $160 or around $160 in shipping costs for these two consoles. The total sale price on them was just around $300 for the pair. So yeah, not great, but we will be able to sell them again, recoup some money at least, but this was not ideal. Nevertheless, I am going to give eBay a call and just see what their policy is around people returning stuff. The reason for the return case open was because there was a wrong item included, and technically speaking, they were all the correct items that were in the lot. So I am going to give them a call. We're going to see if there's anything they can do to help us out here. And if not, then I guess we're just going to be giving this guy a refund and moving on with our day. And just for anybody wondering, I would not normally try to avoid giving a buyer a refund, especially if they return the items back and they were working. But again, I'll get into this case more, but just the way that this guy was messaging and his previous feedback from some other people, I feel like something might be done. So I'm going to reach out to them and just see if there's anything we can do. All right, guys. Well, some good news on our end. It looks like for this return, because the buyer purchased it and everything in the listing was described and they did receive, this is called like a elected return from the buyer's end. So for that reason, they're going to make the buyer pay for the return shipping. And I think they might even make them pay for the shipping that it took them to get there. So all I have to do is refund them the price of the item, which I think is actually fair, because generally speaking, if you bought like a piece of clothing, like we've had experience in the past, and it didn't fit, then the buyer would pay the return shipping here, because it wasn't exactly our fault that the clothing didn't fit, especially let's say if we provided dimensions. So this is something that I've ran into with eBay a few times. Same sort of deal here, by the way. I'm about to list this truck. But anyway, yeah, it looks like we're gonna just get a refund for the total of the refund shipping, or the return shipping, I should say, which is fantastic. And that would make this fine, because then we can sell them for essentially the same profit that we would have gotten if we just sold them to another buyer. So that's good. And with that, I think we're going to move on here with listing some more stuff today. So what's the deal with this truck? This is from, I think it's like a German toy maker or something like this. I actually remember this as a kid, this brand. Playmobil is like a toy brand with little dudes, and I don't know exactly what the deal is here. But anyway, this is one of the cargo vans. It's incomplete. It's missing the hood here, but some of them are going for as high as $60 to $80. And for $5 at our Value Village, I figured I'd pick it up as a test to see if we could sell it for maybe 20 bucks. So that's the goal here. We're going to try to get like $20, $25 on this guy as a replacement unit. All the wheels are there. It does work just fine. So it's kind of a cool piece, I suppose, and maybe some kid would like it, or if they have a missing piece or whatever, they could buy this for replacement pieces. And additionally, I have another Playmobil set that we're going to list here in a second. I got it. It's complete and actually sealed, but open box. So that one we should get even more money for, but we're going to go ahead and list those two items here right now. Okay, so here is the second set. This was picked up at Value Village for $10, and we're listing this guy probably for like 30 or 40, I think. It is a complete sealed set here, and everything is included, completely complete. Set 5259. I don't know exactly what we're gonna get, but that's kind of my guess. And yeah, nice little pickup here and a very easy thing to list. Okay guys, next up is this Genesis little bundle that I bought. This was the one that came with that Wii. So again, if we saw the Wii for like 150 bucks, we sell this for like 80 to 100-ish. Probably 80 bucks for the Genesis complete. So yeah, we should get some decent money with it. I could actually put some games with this guy. I kind of want to, but then again, I don't have any tested, so I'd had to test a whole bunch. Maybe I'll just list this one like this. I think we may have another one too. So anyway, this one should be some good money, and yeah, we'll get this guy listed right now. Genesis is now listed. You guys want to see something gross? Check out this PS3 that we got in. Oh my goodness, what happened? This is like one that I think Airval picked up a couple weeks ago for like $50. Now, it wasn't just this. It came with a bunch of games and a bunch of Skylanders that we're going to list separately. But this thing is just like, Oh man, I hope it works. But anyway, here's the before and here's the after. Not too bad, right? I don't think so. Now the controllers, they're a little bit more tricky. The PS3 was easy. Just give it a good wipe down. And actually, this is one of the nicest looking PS3s I think that we've had in a while. There's like literally no cosmetic damage to it at all. The controllers, however, are still quite yellow. I'll probably hit them again with another wipe, but they're definitely a lot better. They're definitely like presentable now, which is good. That's just a hair, that's not a crack. There we go. Anyway, I'm gonna go ahead and test this guy now, and then we should be able to list it after it's all tested. Okay, so I wanna give a quick reminder about the PS3 units for any of you guys who forgot. You guys will notice I plugged it in the AV here, and what I noticed was I didn't get any signal up on my AV television, and then I remembered, of course, that PS3s are set by the setting to only join one type of TV or use one type of output. And in this case, obviously, most of them are just set to use HDMI. So when plugging it into an HDMI TV, we got it. So now all I need to do is simply go ahead and wipe this system and refresh it. And then when you restart it, without anything selected, it will just do it through both. So I can show you guys that here in a second when I have it refreshed. Okay guys, I just completed all the testing, found out that this game does work. Oh, did I take that out? I don't think I did. That would be a good thing to grab before letting this thing get unplugged. Anyway, I'm going to sell this game with it actually, because we do have 2 copies of it with this lot, and why not? It always, I think, helps to have a game with the console. Anyway, tried the 2 controllers. They both work just fine now, which is good. But just to make my point, now you can see we're plugged into HDMI and AV, and now they're both showing up. So if you ever have that issue, that's why. And we're gonna go ahead now and actually, I think, power it down from here. Okay guys, we're having a really productive day so far. I actually just wrapped up that PS3 listing, then I did a lot of Skylanders, then I did a Wii, just a console only Wii. So now we're gonna move on to doing this 5-disc changer that I have here. Gonna give it a quick little test and list that on our other store. Change of plans. We're listing these 2 packs of cards that I found the other day, and then we're listing the 5-disc changer. Okay, now I just finished up with those NASCAR things, and we're on to the RCA 5-disc changer. Probably not very much, but I actually got this one for free from somebody. So you know what? We're just gonna list it. If we get 30 bucks, 40 bucks for it, that's great. Also, it has a remote, which you don't normally see with these things, which is a plus. So yeah, we're gonna go ahead and get that guy listed right now. Okay guys, another loose console here, this time a white Xbox 360. I just don't have the right power cable for it, and yeah, that's about it. So I don't want to order one. Obviously, they're way too expensive. So I'm just gonna list this one as a console only. Okay guys, next up we have a really cool looking thing. This is a tape deck recorder, I believe is what they're called, a cassette deck. Yeah, I think they record them, if that's what I remember. Yes, record button. I should know, I just tested it. But anyway, this guy does appear to be working, and yeah, we're gonna go ahead and get this guy listed on eBay right now. Okay guys, the final thing that I'm gonna get listed here today is this DJ Hero board. It may have not looked like we got too much done today, but with the total number of items there, I cut out a lot of the testing and the cleaning and all the behind the scenes for each one of them, and I just show you the listings. We've had a very productive day here so far, so I'm very excited about that. We're gonna go ahead and get this guy listed as our last one, and then I'm gonna call it a day. Guys, with that DJ Hero board done, this is now a look at everything that we got listed today. So the Wii bundle there, we got a couple console bundles in there, the NASCARs, the Playmobil stuff, there's the truck under there. In there are actually some shoes. We didn't list those today, but those are going off to the unit. I've got a PS3, I believe, in there. We've got the DJ Hero boards, plus a couple of the big units that we listed, and then 2 more bundles here that are all going out to the unit. So that's a pretty good amount of stuff that's getting cleared out of here today. With that all said and done though, guys, I am going to end up wrapping up things here for today. Hopefully you guys did enjoy this video. If you have any questions about any of the stuff that we did today, or any comments, things I could have done differently, things we could do to speed up our process, whatever it is, leave it down below. I'm sure it'll either help me or somebody else down there in the comments section. We have a lot more new stuff coming, so hopefully you guys are staying tuned for all that. But right now we are trying to get to the bottom of this death pile, and I think we did a pretty good job today at working away at it. So that's it for today. If you guys again enjoyed the video, leave a like, comments down below, subscribe to the channel if you're new, and I will see you guys all in the next video.